try this again. This is actually round 2 trying to do this video. I was making a video and my phone just decided to cut the damn video off. Anyway, it's me again, your favorite Texas trucker, and I am in Crescent, Texas, in line waiting on a dock to get a load. I've actually been in this line since about 2:30 this afternoon, and it's coming up on 6:16 now, and I haven't even got up to the dock yet. I'm at Scott's up here in Crescent, which is they make fertilizer and lawn care products. You know, I don't know what all they make, but they make a bunch of shit. Anyway, those of you that have been following me on YouTube, on Facebook, you pretty much know what's been going on. Those of you that don't follow me on Facebook, and if you've been following my videos, you'll note that the background in this video is not my truck, and the reason for that is because this is not my truck. This is Kevin Collier's truck, and Kevin Collier is the owner up there at Triple C Transit, and he graciously allowed me to use his truck for a little while because my truck's in the shop. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just want to bring you up to date, let you know what's been going on, and so we'll go ahead and get on with that, and then we'll talk a little bit about this truck. I plan to do another video of a complete walkthrough on this truck. We'll do a walk around, we'll do a walkthrough, but right now, we're not going to do all that right now. We'll do that here in a little bit. So what happened is I bought the truck. I bought blue, and I knew when I bought blue that I was going to need to do an in-frame on the truck. It had 880,000 miles on it when I bought it. It's got 980,000 miles on it now. And the plan this year was to pay the truck off by June, and then put aside as much money as I could put aside, as quick as I could put it aside, to get the in-frame done before the end of the year. That was the plan. That's how I kind of had things worked out. I've known that I've been needing it, but I was afraid that something would happen and I might have to do things a little bit quicker than what I intended to do them. And kind of that's what went on. Over the last couple of months, things have been going good with blue. Blue's been running strong. The truck's been pulling great. It's been running strong, but it's also been running a little bit rough. And what the first sign, I guess, well, the first sign was that it started running a little bit rough. But I just kind of blew that off. The second major sign that I ran into was that up until about December, I was getting about 6.2 to about 6.7 miles per gallon. Every now and again it dropped down to about 5.8, 5.7 if I was in the mountains and heavy loads like up in Virginia or something. And so when it drops down and I get one fuel up that's bad, I don't really worry about it too much. But because I track my fuel mileage, I use the Let's Truck app to Let's Truck gauges to track my fuel mileage, and so I know what my truck's been doing, on that tank of fuel. I know what it's been doing over a 30-day period. I know what it's been doing over a 60-day period, and so when I see one tank that's running 5.5 miles a gallon, I don't worry about it too much, because every now and again, it's a bad run. Either it's bad fuel or the weather temperature's bad or whatever. But anyway, I noticed that I'd lost a dramatic amount of fuel mileage, and it was enough over a period of time, over about 4-week period of time, to really have me concerned. It was establishing a pattern. It wasn't just one tank or one fill up. It was establishing a pattern. And so I've got a Facebook page dedicated to owner operators. It's called The Struggle to Be an Owner Operator. And I only put owner operators on there, so if you see the video and you want to join the page, if you don't own the truck, it ain't nothing personal. I'm not trying to be an elitist. It's just that there's things that we're not really there to try to teach people how to become owner operators. We're trying to deal with maximizing the problems that we have, so that they're not as much of a loss as they could be, or they are more profitable than we expect them to be. And we just need the group filled with owner operators. So anyway, I was in there, and I talked to them, trying to find out if anybody had any idea on what was going on with my fuel, and turned into a big ass argument about driving fast, because I drive the speed limit wherever it's at. I know there's quite a few people out there that they believe in this idea that they have to run 58 miles an hour, and anything over 58 miles an hour is blowing money out the stack, and all that's great. May work for your truck, you know, and it may even be true for your truck. It's not true for my truck. My truck is designed and spec'd to run highway miles. Right? I got tall gears. I got a 270 rear. I got a Super 10 transmission with an overdrive. You know, and I'm running a N14 Select Plus engine. You know, that really needs to be around a certain RPM range. And when I tried to run, and I tried it, you know, I mean, I gave it an honest look, and I tried running 58 miles an hour, and it actually cost me in fuel. At that time, I was running on average over a 30-day period of time, I was getting about 6.4 miles per gallon. When I tried running at 58 miles an hour, I got 5.9 miles per gallon. It just doesn't work with my truck, you know, and I wish people would understand that and quit trying to teach me on how to drive a truck I drive every fucking day of my life. And, you know, and I know how the truck operates. What works for your truck doesn't work for my truck, and it didn't work. And so anyway, the discussion didn't get anywhere. Because instead of looking at what the problems could be, or looking at what the causes might be to cause such a drastic change in fuel mileage, when I hadn't changed anything else, the only thing anybody was concerned with was speed. You know, slow down to 68 or 58 miles an hour. Okay, well, I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen. So, or at least it ain't going to happen, you know, at that point in time. So, you know, I went to my boss, Kevin Collier, and I sat down with him and I told him, I said, look, man, I got some concerns. You know, my truck is doing some things that it hasn't been doing before, and you know, I just need your input on what I ought to do about it. So he listened to me, and we talked about the fuel mileage, we talked about the change, you know, we talked about it running a little bit rough. And what he said was, you know, they've got a program up there where they do fuel samples on all of their trucks, and he said, man, I'm going to give you one of the fuel samples. I want you to take a fuel sample out of your truck and give it to me, and I'm going to send it in. So that's what we did. We took a fuel sample off his truck, off my truck, and he sent it in. Well, that fuel sample came back about 3 days ago. And when it came back stating that my engine was in critical condition. Stage 4 on the oil analysis. And stage 4 is the highest that you can go on the oil analysis. And so they said they found a bunch of lead, you know, metal particulates, and you know, and all kinds of stuff in my oil, and fuel dilution, and some other issues. So they said it's time that I do an in-frame, and I need to do it now. So that put me in a kind of a tough situation. You know, I can't expect my boss to come out of pocket, you know, as much as an in-frame cost and pay for my truck. You know, he's got his own issues to worry about. It's my truck, it's my responsibility. At the same time, I didn't have the money to put aside for an in-frame in my truck. So what I did was I bought the truck at Best Used Trucks in Fort Worth. It's up there by North Richland Hills off 35 West, and it's on the south side on 35 West. But I went up there and I talked to the guy, and Eddie Walker, who owns Best Used Trucks, he's the guy I bought the truck from, and I just kind of explained all the issues that I've had with the truck. You know, I mean, I've changed the starter, I've changed the alternator, I've changed the turbo, I've changed the air compressor, I've changed fuel lines in it. You know, I've had the rear end go out, I've changed the ECM. You know, I mean, just all these repairs that I've had to do. The speedometer went out, you know, and so I had to change the speedometer. You know, I had an engine position sensor go out. I had to change the engine position sensor. I've got a speed sensor on the way out. I bought a speed sensor. It was sitting in my glove box. I just haven't gotten around to changing it. You know, just a lot of things that had gone wrong with the truck. You know, blown, you know, fuel lines, blown air lines. You know, just all kinds of shit's gone wrong with the truck. And y'all know, because I've been updating y'all on everything that has happened with it. So I just went and I laid it out there to him. I told him, I said, you know, this year I've spent $20,000 on this truck. I spent every penny I had on it. This last series of problems were fuel lines breaking on me when I was up there, you know, between Texas and Utah. Damn near $1,000 in roadside repairs to come out and fix fuel lines, you know. And bad thing is if I had fixed them all while I was at the house, I might have been out of pocket $250, $300, you know. The fact that I was on the road and had to have roadside service and pay for all that mileage and all that shit over three different times cost me damn near $1,000. And you know, and so I just went and told him, I said, man, I've spent it all. I spent it all trying to keep the truck up. I don't have any money left. And so I asked him if he would finance the end frame, since the truck was damn near paid for. I mean, I only owe 5 more months worth of payments on it, and the truck's paid for. And yeah, you know, I didn't really expect him to say anything. Matter of fact, I talked to a friend of mine, Clyde Johnson. I talked to him before I went up there to talk to him, and I told him, I said, you know, the dude's not going to do it, and at that point, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, I'll just have to run it as long as it'll hold together and hope that I can make the money to do the end frame, because I don't have any other options right now. And so anyway, but I went up there and I talked to him. I laid it out there to him. He pulled up my payment history. He pulled up my truck. He looked at my truck. He wanted to see the oil sample. I showed him the oil sample, and then he agreed right there on the spot. He called his mechanic. He's got a mechanic that he uses for engine rebuilds. He's been using that dude for 13 years to do engine rebuilds. And so he calls that guy, tells the guy that I'm bringing the truck over, and that he's going to pay for it. He's gonna, you know, I'll pay it out, just extend my truck payments out by another year, or however long it ends up extending it out. So I went down there yesterday, or day before yesterday. God damn, this day's been going fast. Well, I went down there yesterday, and I took Blue down there, dropped him off, and you know, I sat there with the guy and explained all the issues that were going on. In the process of getting my truck home, my air conditioner cratered on me. And so my air conditioning compressor fucking shot metal through all my system, and so this guy's going to fix that too. He's going to put a new air conditioning compressor on there and flush my system out to get any of the metal fragments out of there before he puts it all back together again. So I'll have a brand new air conditioner and essentially a brand new engine. I went down there today to get some things out of my truck, and they told me that they'd gotten the underside of it apart, and you know, I'd gotten in there and looked at the camshaft, and he said the camshaft just shows normal wear, no excessive wear, no flaking, no reason to replace it. So they're not going to replace the camshaft. You know, when I first brought the truck in there, he did some tests on it, and he said that he believes that I have at least one bad cylinder and one cylinder going bad, or I've got 2 bad cylinders, and that I have a fuel injector spring either broken or cracked. Now that's without getting into it. So looks like they're going to be replacing all the injectors and everything else at the same time. It's $3,500 in labor, as long as they don't run into anything unexpected, plus whatever he's going to charge me for the air conditioning compressor. You know, anyway, it's about $3,500 in labor plus parts. So it's looking like I'm going to get out of there at or under $10,000 on the repair. But when it comes out of there, I'll have a brand new engine in the truck. And that's the biggest part of my repairs. So the only thing left that can go wrong as a big ticket item is the rear differential, which is the first one I blew the power divider. The rear one is still the original. So the rear differential and the transmission. He said the oil pump on my truck is brand new. So, you know, when he says brand new, I'm assuming he means within the last year or so, because I haven't changed it in the 9 months I've had the truck. So the oil compressor is relatively new. He's not going to change it. The fuel pump, we've already had it apart when I changed the air compressor, and it's in good condition, so we're not going to change it. The water pump then is the only other thing that I may have problems with, and he's going to check it to find out. So the transmission and the rear differential, that's pretty much it. Everything else on the truck is good. I still need to get shocks on the truck all the way around, and I need to pull the pins on the bushings on my rear suspension and have them replaced. I need a 3-axle alignment, and the rest of it's all beautifying the truck, so everything else is pretty much done. Meanwhile, I went back to Triple C which brings me back to where I started this video. I went back to Triple C, and I told them, I said, you know, my truck's going to be down for a week or so. It's in their shop for an in-frame, and I need to know if y'all have something I can do around here to make money while my truck's down. And Kevin said, yeah, I got a truck that has no driver. Go get the truck, take it out, work it. And so here I am. I'm in the truck, and you know, I'm running it as a loaner until I get my truck back. So we'll do a full walk around and a full discussion of the truck later on, but I do want to show you you know, just a few things. I mean, it is dark in here, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but we do have the dash. This thing's got pretty much everything in it. It's got turbo, boost gauge, it's got the perometer, it's got oil temperature, oil pressure, voltmeter, water temperature. You know, it's got you know, the primary, secondary, and brake air. You know, fuel. It's got both axle temperatures, transmission temperature. It's got a load gauge, which is right here. I haven't used one of them since I left Millis. And then this says how much water is in my fuel. You know, it's a pretty nice truck, honestly. Sleeper is a hell of a lot bigger than what was in blue. Ignore the blanket there. That is not my blanket. My blanket is in blue, and that is the only blanket my wife had available. So I'm all flowery and all that shit. This truck has got a shitload of storage room in it, but I don't have a damn thing in this sumbitch because all my stuff is in blue. But we do have this big ass fucking spot up in here. I don't know what. We got this cabinet in here that has no floor. That doesn't make any sense to me, but you know, there it is. There's this cabinet down here. It's got 3 or 4 shelves in there. So it's a single bunk mid-roof. You know, we've got all these big cabinets back here. Plenty of room in there, and it goes all the way around. Lots of storage room in here. You know, then there's this cabinet here. That's the extent of the stuff I have right here. It's right there. That, my cooler for my drinks, and then the bedding stuff. There's all my miscellaneous junk. That's my junk bucket. And then it comes with a refrigerator. Again, there's nothing in it. The refrigerator is actually a little bit nasty. That's a kind of a nasty ass refrigerator. It needs to be cleaned. I probably won't be using it. Like I said, I won't be in the truck any more than a few days, maybe a week at the outside. This load here that I'm on, it's going up to Oklahoma. It's not a very long load. Oh, by the way, that's not my CB, that's Kevin's CB. He provides a CB for his drivers, and it looks like we are moving up. So I'm gonna get up here and move this thing forward. And that's kind of the update on what's been going on for now. We will update you a little bit more once I get some daylight and I can actually do a walkthrough on the truck. We'll go around, we'll look outside, we'll come back inside and we'll look inside of it a little bit. But you know, Kevin is a great dude, and it means a lot to me that, you know, he's done what he's done. But you know, to keep me running. Best used trucks, I can't speak highly enough about them guys. You know, they came to the plate when my truck broke down, you know, and I'm gonna pay for it, you know. I mean, I'm not getting anything for free, but you know, they didn't have to go out of their way like that and you know, and spend that kind of money on my truck. You know, they could have done like a lot of the other places that I've read about do, and they could have just he wants me to back up a little bit here. They could have just you know, left me stuck out and said, you know, well, you know, that's your responsibility, you got to deal with it, you know. And you know, that would have been, you know, they would have been in their rights to do that. You know, there's nothing I'd have been able to do about it. But they did not do that, and that's the thing, you know. They came to the table and they brought some money, okay? and they said, you know, we're not going to leave you stuck out, we're not going to leave you broke down. It doesn't do us any good for your truck to be broke down. It doesn't do us any good for your truck to be you know, on the side of the road and us having to spend $5,000, you know, getting a wrecker to bring it back over here and then still have to do an in-frame on it. So, you know, great people, man. Best used trucks in Fort Worth, Texas. You know, they earn my trust. They've earned my respect. They've earned my business. You know, the next time I go to buy a truck, you know, to add to, you know, what fleet that I may have, that's where I'm getting it at, you know. So anyway, that's the update. That's the way things are, and we'll catch you on the flip side, man. Y'all take care. Keep me in your thoughts, and let's hope that when I get blue back, that I don't have any other issues, so that I can start building up the money that I need to do the other minor stuff. This puts me at a place where I'm almost completely finished with bringing Big Blue back where he needs to be. Pretty soon, once this is done, I'll be turning my attention to body work, paint jobs, interior work, you know, and stuff like that. So keep me in your thoughts there, and we'll catch you on the flip side. All right, peace out.